Shalom, I'm giving all praise to Yahweh Shemel, Shai Ba'Shem Kodash, and Shalom to the 144,000 out there and the rest of the hopeful elect. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, Second Esdras Chapter 15 is already here. And we know it's going to get worse. So it's already starting. So, people read Second Ezra's, we read Second Ezra's chapter 15, and we say anywhere you go, it's going to be the same throughout the whole country. No, it's not. There's going to be areas in the country where people are doing good. When the destruction comes, government will still be intact. What does it say in Luke? Matter of fact, let me go to that. That just came to mind. Luke 17. Okay, I want to go right to the point. Okay, this is what I wanted. Second coming foretold. So even these Edomite scholars know that we're in the time of the end when the Lord's going to come back. It says, and he said unto them, let me do this. Yes, 22nd verse. And he said, oh, and by the way, this right here, neither shall they say, lo here or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of the Most High is within you. So the kingdom of the Most High is already here, but it's not established. The fact that you got men out there on the highways and the byways, pumping out these videos day in and day out. If you're GMS, that you're supposed to be doing. If you're not, you shouldn't be in GMS. You should join another camp or just go back to the church or something. So it says, second coming foretold at 22nd verse, Luke 17, verse 22. And he said unto the disciples, the days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and ye shall not see it. We desire to see it, that the Lord is definitely coming on or before the year 2000. When we used to say before the year 2000. And that was based upon Hosea chapter 6 and 2. And another thing, the Most High doesn't deal with exact numbers, because the scriptures say, it speaks about the days of your life are 70, which is 70, and with strength, 80. I'm sorry, fourscore, which is 80. A score represents a 20. Remember Lincoln? 40 and 7 years ago, whatever. He was talking about 80 something years ago. He was going back to the birth of the nation, which is almost 100 years ago. So it says, 23rd verse. So do people die exactly at 80 or exactly at 70? No, you got people die at 75. You get people die at 60, which is like a premature death. You got people that lived to be 85. My grandmother lived to be 92. And she pretty much wanted to die because all her peers had died. Her sister, she was super close. She lived right next to her sister, which her sister was, I would say, I don't know, 5 years older than her. So when she died, and everybody that she knew had died, she really didn't care about living no more. Not that she committed suicide, but she would talk to her sister every day. So she died at 92. And so my sister had called me and I said, good for her. She's out of this hellhole, you know? Yeah, she had a nice place in Jacksonville, Florida. And my some of my brothers and my sister, they ran down, they relocated from New York down to her and fucked the whole house up. They brought that ghetto vibe to that area, you know? She had to give that house up. But that's how gremlins operate. And my brothers and sisters, some of them are straight, them crazy niggas that be that be looting stores and shit. I won't be surprised if I see any of my brothers and sisters in there. If I have one brother, he was one of them stick up kids, and he used to go in the liquor stores with this mask on and toting the gun, and asking for money. And he used to do that in a regular, And he was a smart kid, He was a pretty boy, all the girls like he was like he was a Denzel, you know. You get a girl. So you know what, nigga? And then girls would have took care of him. Girl, I'm gonna take care of you, daddy, type of thing. But no, he wanted to be a stick up kid. And then I believe he did. This is down south. I believe he did 7. You know. Anyway, so hey, you have a brother, elder, Yahweh, Yahweh da, Yahweh, Yahweh da, or Yahweh the Ba out of Hawaii, the head elder out of Hawaii. He came over a bunch of times and came at the crib, and he goes into a lot of war stories about him being in the military, and you hear about because he's from Philly, so you hear about people, this guy shot that guy, this nigga did something crazy, this woman beat the hell out of another woman. He said those are all my cousins. He said my family's crazy. They're criminal minded, so we all got criminals in our family. And they ain't gonna make it. I ain't trying to save them either. I ain't told none of my brothers and sisters, you're Israelite. I don't want them to know that they're Israelite. I want them to eat a missile. If they are one of the elect, they'll come out of it. But I don't see them coming out of it. So it says, and they shall say to you, see here or see there, go not after them, nor follow them. Now, Matthew 24 says something similar. Luke 21, Mark 13, but Matthew 24, it speaks about false messiahs. Like the so-called God sent comforter, he was a false messiah. He didn't necessarily say he was the Messiah, but when you say you're the comforter, what did the Lord say? He said, I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. So who is the comforter? Yahweh coming to you in the spirit. It's not the book. It's not the book, because if the Holy Spirit was the book, the scriptures, then vocab Malone would have the Holy Spirit, right? Or the comforter. No, it's a spirit that comes with the book, that guides us through the book. So you had this guy, he went back and forth to Israel, and he came back saying, the Lord came to me in a vision and said that I'm the comforter. How you are the comforter. And then he came back and told them, and they just believed it. They just said, "Oh, okay." Now, first of all, I wasn't going to be in that school after all the mess and the splits and so forth. But if I was there and he came back and said, "I'm the comforter," I'd be like, I'm out this bitch. But y'all stay believing in that shit. And the Lord warned you of that. It says, so this is how the Lord's going to come. Oh, and I noticed in my um, Shabar voice, I noticed, as an inside joke, of course. Anyway, let me read this again. It says, "For as the lightning that lighteneth out of one part of heaven, under heaven, shineth unto the other part under heaven, so shall also the Son of Man be in his day." So now in 70 AD, if you go into the history, I don't know if you can still find it, but in 70 AD, what happened in 70 AD was the same thing that happened during the time of the Maccabees, where you had the ships, you had the angels, in the heavens, and the people on the earth, even the military, the warriors, the Greeks, the armies, they were even scared because they said, "Let's pray that this apparition," I believe they use the word, I'm not going to go to it, turn to good, because they was in fear. And the same thing's happening today with these UFO sightings, where you have the military, the government, based upon the military part of the government, Air Force, Navy, and so forth. They're saying they're acknowledging it now because there's too many of them, and everybody and their mama got a smartphone. And but I said in one video, I forget what video I said it. I said, don't be surprised if that situation that happened during the time of the Maccabees take place again. I believe that second Maccabees 5, if I'm correct, it could have been second Maccabees 9. I know it's one of the Maccabees. I know it's second Maccabees, if I'm not mistaken. So in 70 AD, the ships came down, the angels came down and showed themselves for a space of time during the time of the Roman Empire, because a major thing happened. A lot of Israelites were put to death. The star that came down for the Messiah was an actual ship. It wasn't a star, it was an actual a ship. Because stars don't fly around and stop in midair. So that was an actual ship that came down over where our Lord was born. So when the Lord comes back, everybody's gonna know about it. They said, but first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. And we know the whole story behind that. And as it was in the days of Noah, or Noe, it says, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. Now, what happened during the time of Noah that the Most High said, "I'm tired of these people. I'm just going to get rid of them. These uh, these miscreants, these monsters. Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters," and we know who the monsters are. Okay, the very first time the word violence appears in the scriptures is in Genesis 6, verse 11. And that was during the time of Noah. It said the earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. What's happening now? Violence. I want to read 12 and 13. And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way or their way upon the earth. So this is a totally corrupt society. All these politicians are corrupt. Oh, he's a good president. He'd be a good. All of them are corrupt. All of them. The congressmen, the senators, the president, no, all of them. All of them. They're all corrupt. The police, we're living in a completely corrupt society. And the Most High said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me. So guess what? We're in a time of Noah all over again, but this time it's going to take place by way of fire. That's Peter said that. For the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. So the Most High made a decision, so he's going to do it. So unlike Nineveh, they repented, right? During the time of Jonah, and the Most High spared Nineveh, but the Most High ultimately took it down because they went back to being wicked. If the lands, the base lands, the two major cities are Sodom and Gomorrah, and the rest of the five cities, the two major ones are Sodom and Gomorrah. The Lord had a back and forth with Abraham, and Abraham loved his nephew, and he was trying to save the city. He said, if there are 50 righteous, came down to 10 right. They couldn't even find 10 righteous. So the Most High said, I'm going to destroy this place. And that's what America's becoming. With the people changing their, sex, and you can openly be a, one of those. You can be a Skittle. You can be a bag of Skittles all you want, and the laws protect you. So how can any politician, president, president-elect, candidate, they're talking about the last Republican debate they had the Indian guy. That Indian guy ain't going no motherfucking way. They ain't gonna have no Indian guy be a president. They're not gonna have Chris Crispy, yeah, Chris Crispy. They ain't gonna have him up there because he's morbidly obese. You ain't gonna have no morbidly obese person in as a president. Look, you ain't gonna have a man with a beard as a president. You ain't gonna have no woman. What's this chick? She looked like an Edomite, looked like Betty Crocker, but she's an Elamite. Somebody help me out, y'all. She looked like an Edomite with a tan, and she act like an Edomite, talk like an Edomite, walk like an Edomite, but she's an Elamite. So really, you got two Elamites, Elams on the that are running for president. Then neither of them is going to make it. Now the elite can change that up, I believe, and then you got a no Democrat is coming up against Biden, because Biden is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah, he's George Washington all over again. Give me a break. Complete corruption. And all you niggas that's gonna get out there to vote, you're goddamn fools. Anyway, so the subject is what did I say? Second Esdras chapter 15 is already here and will get worse. So now let's come on back. And this is showing you that there's going to be, let me show you the map. Okay, this is from the Millionaire Morning Show with Anton Daniels, which I'm gonna subscribe to him. Why not? Because sometimes his show will pop up on the thumbnails over here. So I click on it. It says, so this caught my eye. Target closing. Target meaning the Target stores, not only Target but Walmart and all those other stores. Target closing all hood stores. Black people mad they are losing their jobs. Too much death. So this is affecting your community because you have so-called decent jakes out there that got jobs. They hire a lot of people. I guess in a Target, a big Target, you might have 1,000 people working there. I remember when I went to B&H, that's the store on what is that? 30 what store? What is that? 34th Street and 9th Avenue, and it pretty much takes up damn near the whole block. And that's where you get your you can get anything as far as audio and visual. You can get professional shit. They got classes, free classes, and all that. But they're owned by small hats. You see them small hats. They're running it, but they got the regular employees. So I think it was a small hat. I was talking to him. I was cashing out, and I believe it. Yeah, he said we just started talking because they're real friendly. They're super friendly down there. And the guy was telling me, he said, "How many people do you think work here right now?" So I said, 500. He said, "Nope." He said, "Over 2,000." And that's about the size of actually a smaller, it's a little bit smaller than a Target. So if they got 2,000 people working there, I mean, how many people are working in a Target or a Walmart or a BJ's or whatever, or Costco's? So you can watch this video because he kind of talks like we talk. He's just not hitting the scriptures, you know. And he pulls up the map. So I said, let me do a video on this. And then it says organized retail crime pockets. If you notice, now this is Houston. Houston is hell on earth. I mean, all hell come out of Houston, man. Every time you hear the news in Texas, it's always Houston. It must be in the food or something. It must be in the hot, something in the hot sauce is doing it to them. But that's Houston, so I don't know if that represents one store or a bunch of stores. This is the New York City area, Manhattan, Bronx, Queens, Long Island. And now the West Coast should really just kind of drop off into the sea. Because the West Coast is look at that, from the top to the bottom. That's Los Angeles, San Fran, Portland, Seattle. I mean, the crime is rampant out there, man. I mean, you want to talk about corruption and wickedness and violence? So they just Targets and all those other major stores, they all gonna pack up and leave. And then when you go to now, if you notice, this is considered the Bible Belt. Mostly Edomites. You notice that they ain't closing those stores out there. Because them Edomites are pretty much, they, keep to themselves. They go shopping, they do this. But you go to these major cities where Jake is, where the tribes are. So Esau had enough. He said, look, we're closing up. So when you niggas take a ride to go out of state, they're going to be waiting for your black asses. And they're going to pull your ass over as if why you going over here, and they're going to fuck with you Well, you can, and that's in Second Ezra chapter 15. So I pull up this map. Give me a second here. Okay, so this is a map of the U.S. and where the hell is the title? So I put in store closing maps, right? So anywhere you see these, okay, that's Connecticut, that's Rhode Island, that's Maryland, the Delaware, that's New Jersey. This is all down south. The Carolinas, look at that. They're closing all kind of stores because of you Jakes, you wild ass Jakes. Chicago, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, mainly over here in the Houston area. And then you got Los Angeles, San Francisco. So you go out to like Iowa, Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming. These are mostly Edomites. You got Jake mingled up in there, but you got more Edomites, Utah and well, Nevada, Las Vegas, which is Nevada, Colorado, Arizona. But the major, come on back over here. You got the East Coast. But on this map, on the east, you got all these other areas. Look at that. Up and down the East Coast. Okay. So he's laughing because he knows what type of people live here. But you got Edomites are doing it too. But what happened in Philadelphia? They just busted. So what do you think the Philadelphia, the major stores, the major big box stores, what do you think they're thinking? They're having meetings on, we got to get the fuck up out of here. Let's go to the Midwest where good Christian white folks are. So, like I said, as it says in the book of Luke, let me come Luke 17 says, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives. So when you get married, you got to go to the court, right? You got to go downtown, city hall. So government is going to be intact. That hell that you're going to experience in Second Esdras, you're going to have certain parts of the U.S., certain states, certain cities that's going to be on fire. And then certain places in the U.S. it's going to be all right. That's what them Edomites that got money. Hey, when they had when Katrina took place in New Orleans, when them Jakes tried to go into a town where Edomites, they waited over there. They was on the other side of the bridge, and they had their what do you call it? Their AR-15s and their whatever guns that they had. They were like, look, nigga, you ain't coming on this side. Y'all ain't coming on this side, man. They didn't get it, and the cops couldn't tell them no different. They said, you niggas ain't coming over here to fuck up our. And Esau, he's a devil, but you would think that Jake is a devil. The devilish shit that these niggas do. So when Second Ezra 15 takes place, it's going to take place at certain major cities, but there's going to be other part of the country where everything's going to be cool. They said they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark and the flood came and destroyed them all. Most I didn't give a shit. You had women that were pregnant, you had women that had toddlers, you had old people, and they all got swept away by they all drowned. And Mosai fucked them up in Pompeii. There was a movie on it, Pompeii, the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Now, what happened in Pompeii? You would walk down the street and you see paintings on the wall of a man popping a goat. So they were out of you had people that were he, she's, you know, Skittles. That's the new word. The new code word is Skittles. It says, likewise also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat. So when the destruction came upon Sodom and Gomorrah, the two major cities of the five, they were everything was everything. They were walking around doing. They were being the Skittles were out there, and not at that time those were comedic Skittles. You got Skittle, regular Skittles, and then you got comedic Skittles because they were Hamites, Canaanites. They drank. They had bars. They ate. Right? They ate. They had restaurants. They they bought, meaning they went and went to stores and paid for things and sold things. They sold. They planted. They they build. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. So this time, fire and brimstone is going to be rained from heaven, but in the form of these missiles, mainly from Russia. The Satan 1, the Satan 2, the Moab 1, the Moab 2, the and this is what we talk about. Basically, our spirit, the spirit that we're into, is in the spirit of prophecy. What does Revelation 19 say? Matter of fact, let me go to it. So if you don't know that you're in the last days and the Lord is coming within months, then you're just stupid, man. And this is not the time to have your hands in your pocket and to drag your goddamn feet. And all you people that infiltrated these groups of Israelites, that sincere men, the Most High got something that's special for you. Where they say I was going to go, Revelation 19. And I fell at my feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant. There's the angel giving the messages from the Lord to John and of thy brethren. So we're angels in bodies. We're spirits of the spirits of the angels in the bodies, meaning the chains of darkness, that the chains of this body that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. What's the testimony of Yahweh Shai? The whole book. What part of the book are we in? The prophetic parts. So most of the time you hear us speak, we're going into prophecy. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is a what? Is a spirit of prophecy. And the black church, they don't go into prophecy. They don't speak nothing about prophecy. Them people in the black church, you know what I mean? They're going to take the charagma because the pastor ain't going to tell them no different. I just want to look up prophecy in the Greek. We know what prophecy means in the Old Testament. Charles G. 4394. Prophetia. So the Greek word is prophetia. Got a root here. It's a prophecy, a discourse emanating from divine inspiration. So what makes us, we are renewed day by day, right? It says a discourse emanating from divine inspiration. The first act of prophesying or spiritual power was Acts 2. The first sign of prophesying was what? They were able to speak in other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. It says, in declaring the purpose of the Most High, whether whether by reproving or admonishing the wicked, or comforting the afflicted. So we're telling the wicked that they're going down, America's going to be destroyed. This is Babylon the Great, and you're going into captivity. And then for Israel, you're going to make it. So why would certain Israelites say that, well, there's certain Israelites that's going to burn in hell? They're not going to make it, but they're going to come back. Or revealing things hidden. Ooh. So the Most High gives his secrets unto who? His servants, the prophets. Or revealing things hidden, especially by foretelling future events. So that's the thing that we mostly do is prophesy. I know me myself. I'm always going into prophecy. Why do you think we always bring up the MOTB? Because that's a prophecy coming to pass. And there's groups out there that can't see it. Because the Most High didn't open up their eyes to see it, or they took the bag. It says, and I'm going to close on this one, of the prediction of events relating to the Messiah's kingdom. The prediction of events, the MOTB is going to come with prevents, with the 15-minute cities, with the meeting of the World Economic Forum, with Elon Musk, with the what's that Neuralink, and Sweden. It's like maybe 20,000 of them got it. They be having parties to get chipped. So it's not just going to come overnight. They're going to have to reset the monetary system, go to the CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, which you're going to pay for with your credit card, which is going to go into your smartphone, and then it's going to go, because you lose your smartphone, you lose your credit card, right? Well, you can't lose your chip because it's inside of you. So this is a step-by-step thing, and we see it crystal clear, because the Most High, the Supreme Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, open our spiritual eyes. So these other camps that are teaching otherwise, they're going to have a lot of explaining to do. It says of the prediction, pre-meaning to say before or speak, diction, of events relating to the Messiah's kingdom. So the Messiah is not going to come back until the majority of the planet Earth gets a chip. If y'all don't get the chip and you see the Lord coming, that's not the Lord. That's Operation Blue Beam. And we have the Lord looking like Charles Manson. You know what I mean? And it's speedy triumph. Now watch General Netanyahu, when it comes out, he said, I told you, if you morons would have watched my videos, I told you that we were going to all get a chip. And then the zombies are going to use, that's right. The bishop did say that. He did say that, not to get the chip. He did say that. I don't remember any camp ever saying that. But the bishop, he's been saying that. Oh, yeah, okay. We're going to look. We want to see the looks in your faces when they introduce the Charagma to the whole world and tell you that you got to take it, or you're going to lose your job. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. Then it shall be known who are my chosen. Then it shall be known there has been a prophet or prophets among them, together with the consolation and admonition pertaining to it, the spirit of prophecy, the divine mind, to which the prophetic faculty is due, of the endowment to empower, and speech of the Israelite teacher. The Israelite teacher, Christian means Israelites. You can only be a Christian if you're an Israelite that believe in the Messiah. So vocab is not a Christian. We should start calling them anti-Christian. They're anti-Christ. Vocab alone is an anti-Christ. Teachers, meaning the prophets, call Israelite teachers call prophets. And just because you're an Israelite doesn't make you a prophet. The gifts and utterances of these prophets, especially of the predictions of the works of which set apart to teach the gospel, the whole book, it's not the Old New Testament, uh, will accomplish for the kingdom of the Messiah. Let me try. Let me try this. Okay, here we go. Go to the root. Then I'm gonna close. I don't want to make this thing long. In Greek writings and interp- interpreter of oracles or of other hidden things. You notice it said this is the second time it said hidden things, secrets in Amos. Amos said secrets. The Apostle Paul said mysteries in Colossians. One who moved by the Spirit, as the Spirit gave them utterance, Acts chapter 2. And even Peter, he raised up a woman saint named Dorcas. She died, and he raised her back up from the dead. And hence his organ or spokesman solemnly declares to men, women, and children, what he has received by inspiration, especially concerning future events. That's what prophecy is all about. You say something's going to happen before it could happen in a week from the time you said it. Could happen in a year. It can happen. It can happen 2,000. The prophets of old, they saw things that were going to happen thousands of years in the future. And then, so in the case of like a Daniel, we're talking over 2,500 years. He saw the end, and that shows you, man, how powerful the Most High is, and in particular, such as relate to the cause and kingdom of the Most High and to human salvation. So, the scriptures speak about the 10 virgins, and where there was a call made, right? So all of the 10 virgins um, trimmed their lamps, meaning lit the wick, and some of them stayed on, and some of them went out. The ones that the lamps went out on them, they never had no oil because they're not of the elect. So a lot of you guys that are in GMS, well, a certain number of y'all are not guys that have fallen off. They were lamps, but they had no oil in them, and they can only go, or they had very little oil in them. The residue, the fumes. So I hate to disappoint you, but if you're not one of the elect, you're just not gonna make it. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. I didn't want to make this long, but it got a little long, so that was the spirit.